Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to the Pandora Directive, where it is day 2 of our investigation. We have found our way into Malloy's old room at the Ritz Hotel. However, someone has knocked us unconscious. Very inconvenient to them. But I did not know I can double-click the right mouse to go into movement mode. But we're here. Might as well take a look around.
A few plastic plates and cheap silverware. Malloy must have taken the good china with him.
There's a few clues in here, one of which I believe is the scarf on the bed. And we'll take a look at that in a few seconds, but in probably a couple minutes. But for now, oh, hello. We got an issue of Playbob dedicated to hair. Blonde hair and shoulders. If you want the greatest in erotic imagery of blonde hair and shoulders, this is the month for you.
No Playbob. I never look at these personally, but I do remember this one. It was the Amazon Woman edition featuring 37 pages of full-color pictures. Nice.
Normally, they only have tasteless black and white photography. Anything underneath the bed? Don't remember. Anything underneath the desk? Can I... you know, the viewing is interesting, but so much moving stuff around. I can move the couch cushion.
Think about all the butts that have sat in that cushion through the ages.
At least 1,000 butts.
Damn. No spare change under here.
Just evidence. Truly the worst. Photo of Malloy and
Looks
Llama.
Like Malloy made a special llama pal back in his younger days.
Alright, let's just grab the scarf right now.
Man, what's this? Looks like a scarf. Ooh, this scarf reeks of cheap perfume. I guess Malloy must have had a lady friend in for a visit. And if the lady friend wore this scarf anywhere else in the neighborhood, she'd be pretty hard to forget. Maybe I should show this thing around and see what I can find out.
And then we've got some mail.
There's no lock on the drawer.
Very convenient. I don't think there's any puzzles in this area specifically, but later on, puzzles are going to reintroduce themselves.
Looks like Rook did some business with Mr. Malloy. I wonder if Rook could let me redeem this receipt. Oh, my kid. He'll do anything if the price is right.
And that is unfortunate because we need money.
Looks like a letter. I wonder who this David Wright is. And more importantly, if Malloy's been to his cabin in Oregon.
Dear Thomas, I was delighted to receive your letter after all these years. It sounds as though your work is progressing well, and I look forward to having a few of our all-night discussions, just like the old days. You're certainly welcome to stay at my cabin as long as you'd like. It's extremely secluded, a perfect place to get away from prying eyes. I can't meet you for at least a week, but I'll get there when I can. In the meantime, there's a key to the door under the brick by the front steps. I've come across an item I think you'll find quite interesting. I look forward to working out an exchange of information. The cabin is located exactly 8.4 miles south-southwest from a small town in Oregon called Salmonberry. You'll probably need to find a good map. It'll be good to see you again. Also, the fact that people even need maps in this future.
That lamp looks like an urn wearing a Chinese hat.
I see it. I can see that. Alright. Can I move any of these boxes? Ooh, I can open the top
label
box.
On the box says it was shipped from Mexico.
And that is it.
Airport of the Gods. My Uncle Marty owned a whole series of these books. Go-Karts of the Gods, Lunch of the Gods. I loved this book when I was a kid. Aliens, spaceships, mysterious structures. Then I grew up and realized it was all a load of crap.
Written by J.I. Thelwait. Also, Here's the thing. Like, if this game takes place in universe with the Tex Murphy franchise, in Martian Memorandum, you go to Mars, and where, like, the first colonies found ancient Martian artifacts.
Look at all those drawers.
The people know for a fact that there were aliens.
Look at all the... That drafting table must be 7...
Okay. Oh, I can't open... There we go.
Yeah, it's an old photograph.
Of Megan, I believe? Regan, not Megan. So close. Just one letter off. Anything else? I think I may have gotten... Oh, nope, I don't.
Envelope.
Not much to say about that one.
Whoever wrote this has worse penmanship than I do. Either that or it's written in some weird language.
Yeah. Because Thomas Malloy writes in his own kind of... I forget the name of the word right now, but in his own
like a business card.
Notation.
This warehouse is just down the street from the Ritz.
Yeah, we'll store your junk. Alright. We have searched the room, we have examined the playbub. The most important thing we have right now is the scarf. That's going to carry our investigation further from that. But, unfortunately, Tex did forget about something.
Oh, man. Chelsea's gonna kill me. I didn't realize how long I was out. God, almost 16 hours. I was out cold straight through our dinner date. She's never gonna believe me.
Let's go to our office, see if the money has showed up, because we are going to need it. Yep. There we go. Money.
Ooh, piece of mail. And for once, it doesn't look like a past due notice.
That is very important prize money enclosed. Brought us back to $1,900. We were at $4,000. Most of it got thrown away on rent. Let's talk to Nilo, see if he has anything else for us. Maybe give him a chance to sniff that scarf. We're not going to let him walk away with the scarf for private use. Yeah, there you go. As you can see, I am clearly playing this on a system that is far too new for this game. Like, he probably shouldn't be vibrating as much. Let's ask about the scarf. Alright, Nilo, you sneaking piece of slop.
Como está, pea-brain?
He seems to like calling me a
You
pea-brain.
don't need to sneak in through the back. So, what do you want?
Scarf?
I'm getting tired of you asking about things I ain't never heard of.
Yep, that's it. And of course, Chelsea is unfortunately not at the newsstand. I don't know if I can actually call her yet, though. Where shall I go first? Let's go to Rook's Pawn Shop.
That door
Also
will
ask
take you
about,
inside Rook's Pawn Shop.
we can also ask about the ticket.
A pawn shop since sometime before the Eisenhower administration. He's a crusty, mean-spirited little troll who's rumored to have a heart of gold. Yeah, sure. He lets me buy things on credit occasionally, but then he nags me ruthlessly until I pay up. We get along all right, as long as I keep my bills settled.
Up already, Murphy? And it isn't even lunchtime yet. Or am I still asleep? Having a horrible, horrible nightmare.
Let's see. Make Rook's dreams come true? I don't want to offer money. Pay Rook a nice compliment. Or tell Rook your Let's make a...
Here you go, Shorty. I told you I'd pay you back.
I guess I owe him money.
Didn't I?
Well, let's pop the champagne and have a parade. Murphy paid me back.
Oh, but I also owe the electronics shop money. And I also owe Louis money. Louis is going to be the only person who doesn't actually need your money back. But you get points for giving him money. Play it straight.
I'd love to drink some bubbly with you, Rook, but I'm pretty busy with the case. That's another reason why I stopped by.
Ordinarily, Murphy, I'd tell you what to do with your irritating questions. But after all, you did pay me back. I suppose I can spare you a few moments.
I'll have to check to see, 1,600, I was at 19, $300, wow. Where is the receipts?
I need to redeem this receipt.
You didn't pawn this.
Well, how much is it? Look, I'm willing to pay extra.
$200. Yep, plus $50 for it not being your receipt.
I don't have enough.
I haven't got that.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, nobody's buying. Okay, so it's going to cost me $250 for whatever it is. I'll worry about that later. I think it is a dagger, if I had to remember correctly. Or it might be something else. I'll have to find out how much I owe the electronics shop first. Which I do have the bill with me. Either way, let us ask about...
I don't know a thing about it.
All right.
Never heard the name in my life. No. Next question. How should I know who that is? I've seen this man before. He came into my pawn shop several weeks ago and pawned an item. If you want to find out what he pawned, I suggest you find him and ask him.
Or I could ask you. You're standing right in front of me, and I have the receipt for the item.
That's the name of the man whose pawn receipt you brought in. Nilo's run the Ritz for years. He's a pig. But at least he pays cash when he buys something from me.
At least he buys cash for something from me.
Never heard the name in my life.
What about you, Rook?
You know enough about me.
This is true. I know everything I need to know.
Louis is a good man. He seems to like you quite a bit. I can't figure out for the life of me why.
Chelsea?
Oh, Chelsea. If I were a younger man, you wouldn't have a chance with her. Now, I'll admit you have some skills as a PI. It's your social skills that need desperate help.
All right. Let us step away. And actually, I suppose, let's go to the alley. As you can see, the difference between a trash bin that can be interacted with and a trash bin that cannot is one is a sprite and the other is a 3D model.
That's a manhole cover. A sewer line must run under the alley.
Oh, yeah. You have to go through the sewer later on. But that is not something we need to worry about now.
Ah, Clint's old studio apartment. I wonder if it's for rent. Ah.
Yep, Clint no longer works in the lives in the dumpster, chomping on chocolate all day. He's got his own business.
The garbage can to person ratio is pretty high in this part of the country. I think it's about 4-to-1.
You know, you might think... I would say that still makes sense. I would imagine you'd want more garbage bins, although I suppose it all depends on like how dispersed these garbage bins are.
The electronics shop. I have to laugh every time I think about all the free stuff I picked up with my bogus electronics shop credit card.
Yeah, that's, $1,230. Okay, so 1,230 plus the 250 is 1,480. So that means I still have some cash after I've acquired the item from Rook.
Back again, Murphy. If you're here to ask for another loan, you can forget it.
The fact that Rook even offered a loan is impressive. Receipt.
I need...
Alright.
Well, I hope my new purchase will help me out.
Yes. The Black Dagger.
So this is the item Malloy pawned. I'm no expert, but this thing looks pretty ancient. Wonder where it came from.
And I don't think I actually need that until much later in the game. I may even be screwing myself over in regards to making these specific payments in the order I am, but... What are you?
Some unlucky soul lost his wallet. So, my landlord dropped his wallet, and it's full of cash. Of course, I could return it.
It's not that much cash. It only kind of raised me back to 1450. So I am going to return it, despite the fact that Nilo is awful.
Nilo is...
Bonsoir, dopey. So you just gonna stand there and stare at my beautiful face?
Yes. Alright, let's see, Nilo's wallet.
Got a whole new respect for you, snotface.
Truly the gift that keeps on giving. Alright, now for one of my favorite scenes from the entire game. I'm just going to save, increment, electronics shop. Electronics shop. The electronics do not own the shop. They are not possessive of it.
The electronics shop opened last year, and I got to know the previous owner, Ham Underwood. I got an electronics shop credit card under somewhat shady circumstances, and I ran up a good-sized bill during my last case. I hear there's a new owner now, some guy named Zach Williams.
Hold it right there. Get your hands up where I can see them. All right, now, take out your electronic shop credit card. Nice and easy. So you're Murphy. I just got your photo from the credit department. We were wondering when you'd show up here again. I got orders about you. Straight from corporate headquarters. Sorry I gotta do this. But...
Just a little flair for the dramatic. Although, the fact that Tex had his credit card inside his pocket so readily available probably says that Tex probably doesn't carry a wallet on his person. Use a terrible pun. if you have an option in a game to, like, what was it? Fallout 4 had the option for sarcasm instead of other responses. So always choose sarcasm. If you have an option for a pun, always choose the pun.
Well, I guess this means my credit's shot. You know, I'm almost certain I sent you people a payment.
Really? I wonder why we haven't received it.
Give an elaborate explanation.
It's my accountant. He's got a little problem. I'd fire him in a second if it weren't for little Timmy and his tragic medical problem.
Your account is over 120 days delinquent, and you owe us $1,230.
Say what?
That amount includes one fax machine, $399, one laser blade, $29, a film developing kit, $179.
For that piece of crap?
You bought it. And $623 in interest.
What?
$623 in interest.
Ask for the former owner.
So where's Ham Underwood? He and I are old buddies. Look, I think I can make a deal with him.
Ham Underwood doesn't work here anymore. In fact, I don't think he works anywhere anymore. I heard he opened his mouth just a little too wide and someone big shut it up for him. Permanently. Now pay me the $1,230 you owe me or get out.
All right.
All right. Here's your money. Now when do I get my new credit card?
You don't. From now on, it's cash only. If you see something you like, ask me about it, and I'll give you a price.
All right. So now we can access the electronic shop, not the credit. Some of these things
I used to have a battery pack like this for my Robco toys.
we are going to need later in the game. We don't necessarily need access to the electronic shop now. I don't remember exactly how you get more money in this game. Yep. But you are going to need more money.
The Slice of Heaven's been vacant for months. During one of my previous cases, I did a job for the former owner, Francesca Lucido. Helped her get a divorce from her dirtbag husband, and she took him to the cleaners. Last I heard, she was dating some young stud named Julio and renting a condo in Miami Beach.
Yep, the Slice of Heaven pizzeria is closed
Floors
down.
and stairs in here are all pretty dusty. Doesn't look as though anybody's been in here for a while.
But we do need one thing from this area. Are we having any boxes we can move? Yes, we can move that
And the
one.
box looks like it's empty.
Ah, and I can open that up, but there's nothing in there. Ah. And inside we have a bottle of...
It's a bottle of something. Yummy. 25-year-old scotch.
Alright. That's all we need from there. Now, okay. So there's... This game I feel as though I remember better than Under Killing Moon. But there's going to be a point in time in which I don't. And that specific point in time is...
The police were down in the sewer last week cleaning out the scum. That's the two-legged kind. Apparently some drug dealers were doing business in the tunnels below the street. I heard a deal went bad and someone got killed.
There's a point in time in which you're trying to get from one place to another. Very vague, I'm sorry. And there is a bit of a roadblock. in the middle of you're in the middle of a jungle and you're trying to cross through it, and there's just a big old roadblock there, and there's a whole set of puzzles inside that roadblock, and I didn't even really know what I was doing when I was there the first time.
People are storing their stuff here.
So now that I'm playing this game
Locked up.
for a second time, oh, but I believe we can get into Rusty's funhouse.
Looks like the cops put one of their computerized locks on the door.
But that requires...
Rusty's front door is sealed off with a cop lock. There's no way I can get in without unlocking it.
Now, how do I...
Rusty's front... Looks like... Rusty's front...
Can I not examine the cop lock?
Rusty's front...
I thought all I had to do was just examine the cop lock, and that was it. Alright. Let us go to... Let's go to, the Bruin Stew. Talk to...
These doors lead to the Brew and Stew. It's the only place in the neighborhood to get a decent meal.
Talk to Louis, see what he has to say.
The Brew and Stew, Louis' diner, is more of a home to me than my place at the Ritz. Louis is probably my best friend if I have one. He's always making sure I get enough to eat, and he runs me tabs for months at a time. My current debt is up to $200. But with the smell of fresh coffee and Louis' special home cooking, the Brew and Stew always has the welcome sign turned on.
Mike! I noticed you talking to that older gentleman last night. I bet Rook $20 that he hired you to do some work for him.
I did.
Well, I'm happy to report that Rook owes you $20, though I'm sure he's going to be real happy about paying off the bet.
I think Rook's only nice to members of the fairer sex, and not too many of them. So I was right. You did get a job.
My client's
Yeah.
looking for a friend of his. He's not having too much luck finding him. He gave me a nice advance to see what I could turn up.
Congratulations, Mike. It must be a relief to be working again.
It is, but I'm also... Oof.
You said it. It's actually why I came down here. I'm hoping you can help me with the lead.
But I'm also already out of money. Like, the money was supposed to be used for the case, but, like, Tex is in so much debt. Like...
Oh, yeah. I remember this scarf. And the perfume on it. Young, blonde girl. Came in here a while ago.
Okay, so he's seen her, possibly. Let us ask about Thomas Malloy.
Sorry, Mike. Haven't heard of him.
Young blonde woman?
She was real pretty, though a little heavy on the makeup. I think she said her name was Emily. The cops came in and closed that place down a couple weeks ago. Turns out they found Rusty's body in there. Someone dumped him in a barrel of acid. Created a lot of conversation in here, I'll tell you.
I know, I found his body in
That
there.
warehouse changes owners like partners at a square dance. I guess it's some kind of storage unit now. He took over the electronics shop when Ham left. I've been meaning to go introduce myself.
Do you happen to know anybody named Sandra?
I'm pretty sure I've never heard that name.
Newspaper photo of
This
Malloy?
is the guy that was with that young blonde girl who was wearing the nice-smelling scarf.
I happen to already know that.
Sorry, Mike. Haven't heard of him.
See, this I like. The idea that you can show somebody a photo of somebody, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I recognize the photo, but I don't know the name.
I saw Malden a couple weeks ago when the cops came by to clean out Rusty's place. He hasn't changed much, except around the waistline. Oh,
Yeah, I'm kind of the same.
I don't like to talk bad about people, so I got nothing to say about Nilo.
Absolutely. You know, almost that alone is talking bad about somebody. I'd like to say something good about you, but I've got nothing to say.
I just saw him talking to you. That's about it. Rook's just an ordinary son of a gun, but believe it or not, he's pretty soft underneath.
What about you, Louis?
What are you asking about me for? I ain't nothing special. Chelsea's the sweetest girl I've ever met. There's nothing I'd like more than to see you two together.
Does he have a tattoo that says Mom on his shoulder?
You're okay in my book, Mike, no matter what anyone else says.
Oh, you should hear what everybody else is saying. Oof. Definitely. Maybe you shouldn't hear what everybody else is saying. Let's go to the Fuchsia Flamingo.
Someone bought the old Bijou Theater and turned it into the Fuchsia Flamingo. I'm not sure if that's an improvement.
Oh yeah, I think the only way in is through... No, let's not go to the Fuchsia Flamingo just yet. Let us go to the Coco Cabana. Clint's Coco Cabana, which used to have Beak over by the Coit Tower, but now it is a chocolate shop.
Was just opened by a reformed bum named Clint. I met him during my last case when he was living in a dumpster in an alley behind Rook's pawn shop.
Yeah.
Compliment the rug?
You know, Clint, some men, they just can't wear a toupee. But it looks pretty good on you.
Yeah, and that's what your mom told me, right before I slapped the handcuffs on her, like I do every Saturday night.
Oof. Doubtful?
Yeah, right. Well, my mom goes to bingo on Saturday nights. Besides, I don't think you're my mom's type.
Not exactly the greatest retort,
Well,
Tex.
that's what you think. Women dig me.
Little known scientific
You know,
fact.
I've heard that eating excessive amounts of chocolates can result in hallucinations.
Yeah, and at the moment I'm having a vision of a PI being bludgeoned to death with a blender.
I'll sympathize with
Yeah,
that.
that's bad, isn't it? When my grandma was strung out on Demerol, she used to see dancing monkeys.
Ha ha! You're a real comedian. So why don't you come a little bit closer and I'll try out a few of my punchlines on you.
Let's cool things down.
Come on, I'm only kidding around with you. I just came by to ask you a couple of questions.
All right, but make it quick. I don't want you scaring off any of these potential customers.
Also, he doesn't have any potential customers. Also, he's a chocolate addict who owns his own chocolate shop. I think in my own attempt at fan fiction for this, for Tex Murphy, I wrote a subplot in which Clint hires Tex to find out what happened to all of his chocolate. And it was eaten by rats. Good times. Good times.
I've seen this scarf before. A girl came by here wearing it.
Wow. Thanks for all of this information.
Nope. Drawing a complete blank.
Please pay Clint directly for food. Thank you. All right. That's good.
The Flamingo seems like a decent club, but there's no chocolate on the menu, so, why bother?
Exactly.
Emily? Yeah, you must be talking about the girl who sings at the Flamingo. She's come by here a couple times with a gigantic guy named Gus Leach. He runs the Fuchsia Flamingo, and he might be Emily's boyfriend. They come by every once in a while and order the bliss on a biscuit. Actually, now that you mention it, the last time those two were here, Leach dropped a key under his seat, and I didn't find it until after they left.
I am, of course, an upstanding citizen.
I've been meaning to run it down to the Flamingo, but if you're gonna go that way, drop it off for me.
Why, thank you. Thank you very much. I forgot that actually happened, so I would
Did you
have
know that
been
there's
kind of
some
stuck.
kind of secret door that comes out of Rusty's funhouse over by the warehouse? I saw the cops open it when they were there last week.
Alright, so I'm going to have to get into Rusty's funhouse.
It's a warehouse. What do you want me to say?
Where's the key to the warehouse? Who owns the warehouse? How cool do you think it would be to have your own warehouse to store stuff in?
He's that new guy running the electronics shop.
But they don't sell chocolate at the electronics shop, so who cares, really?
Oh, I wish I could help you. Can't say I've heard of it. Oh, I wish I could help you.
Let's see, we got
Totally
Mac
unfamiliar to
Malden.
me.
Already asked about the scarf.
Nilo, an open sore on the face of humanity. At one point, I had to choose between living at the Ritz and living in the dumpster. I took the lesser evil.
Yeah. Although it would be hard to get clients to jump into the dumpster with me.
Oh, I wish I could help you. That blood-sucking tightwad, he wanted me to pay rent for living in the dumpster outside of his pawn shop.
I'm not surprised.
That guy's a real gem. Hell of a cook. Chelsea's a nice girl. But whatever happened between us was over long ago. Don't let the torch she still carries for me stand in your way.
It'll be tough, but I'll manage.
All right. You brought me a chocolate pie when I was on the skids. I'm indebted to you for the rest of my life. You're a god. Happy?
Yes. Yes, actually.
So Emily works at the Flamingo with someone named Gus Leach. Now that I got the key, maybe I should go ahead and pay him a little visit.
And I will. Nope, there we go.
This gate leads to an alley behind the Ritz and the Flamingo.
And then, oh, hold on. Zebra! Oh, okay. Where am I? Actually, don't remember this alleyway that much. Nope.
This window looks to be slightly open.
Okay. So that just goes in through that top floor of the Ritz. But for now, hold on. Let's see if we can navigate to this employees only door.
Looks like this side of the Fuchsia Flamingo didn't get painted. You can still see all the old markings from when it was the Bijou Theater.
That's why you see the big old zebra.
Looks like a metal rod. Maybe an antenna.
What did I just pick up?
This antenna isn't busted. I might be able to extend it. There we go.
I don't remember what I actually need that for.
This must be the back door to the Flamingo. It's all locked up.
Alright, let's use Leech's key. And talk to a certain Gus Leach.
Didn't mean to wake you, Emily. I'm sorry. How did you get in here?
Hand over I'm just gonna hand over the key. Let's avoid being rude or Texan.
You recognize this? It's your key. You dropped it down by Coy Tower, but I brought it by just to check and make sure it was the right one.
Who would have
Well,
expected
you're a
this
regular Boy
key
Scout, aren't you?
to the fuchsia flamingo that also has a big flamingo on it to be your key? A bitter attempt at blatant charm. Let's go for that.
Yeah. And now my mom gets to sew my breaking and entering merit badge right on my sash.
What's that smell?
What's that smell? It's blood. No, it's actually the scarf.
I'm not sure. But my best guess is this is what you're smelling. Oh, it's not mine. Really.
Where'd you get this?
I'm going to tell it to him straight. He seems like the kind of person I would want to be more honest with than anything else.
Well, I found it next door at the Ritz. That's where I live, and I've been trying to find out who it belongs to.
I'll make sure it gets to the right person. Now, why don't you run along before I call the cops?
Well, I'm not sure, but I think Mr. Leach and I hit it off pretty darn well. At least he told me what I wanted to know. Emily lives at the Flamingo. Now I'll just have to find another way into the club, get past that big mutant. Maybe Chelsea could help. Seems to me she mentioned having a membership to the club. If she's home, I'll apologize and see if she'll go out for a drink with me. Maybe at the Fuchsia Flamingo.
And there's absolutely no way that can go wrong. Right? Right? Either way, I think I'm going to pick up with that next time. In the meantime, if you have any suggestions for something to play next, leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And have yourselves a good night.